coming in off a 5-1 Tuesday, 11-2 the last 3 days. A lot of big dogs last night in baseball. Hit with Cincy big, Colorado big dog. The Angels took the worst of the number, had a bad break with Ohtani going out. Didn't matter, beat that as well. Big day, John. Lakers win it outright, and hot streak continues. Got to be feeling good.
Yeah, feeling real good. As Ben said, 5-1 yesterday, but 5-1. Our 5-1 is just different. You got out there laying 200s and 240s, telling you they went 5-1. We go 5-1, taking a 150 dog, a 165 dog, and a 170 dog. Nobody does it, guys. I'm telling you, nobody does it the way I do it. This is how you make money betting baseball. Yeah, it sucks to have the Dregs and the Tigers and the shit teams going for you. The Reds, 13 of 14, they lost in San Diego. But when the price is right, the price is right. You got to trust the system. Anyway, great run. We're on a phenomenal run over the last 9 days, plus just about 40 units. That's a lot of money. This is real money. So if you guys skeptical, watch the podcast. By the way, if you don't start watching this podcast and start promoting us, man, we ain't gonna be doing it for too long. I've got better things to do with 45 minutes of my day instead of just having 150 or 200 people watch the podcast. So you guys out there catching winners for free, you got to promote us, do a better job, get the word out there, get something going, make some comments, give us some likes, do some stuff like that, or I'll take this extra 45 minutes to go find girls. I'm right by the beach. A lot of girls in bikinis here. I'll spend my time doing that, Ben.
Yeah, don't blame you, John. That's a good thing to fit in the schedule. And yeah, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Same thing on Instagram and TikTok. Help with the engagement, all the content everywhere. Try to give you guys good content. Just help support it so it grows. John, we got one NBA game today that we can kind of dive into. NBA's been red hot as well. I believe it's now 7-2 the last 9 NBA bets. Both those losses on those damn Phoenix Suns. Everything else has been good. Got Sixers coming in, taking game 1. Embiid missed game 1. He's going to be back now game 2. What are your thoughts here on this matchup?
Yeah, just let me jump into that. Yeah, been red hot in NBA. We have lost, I believe we've lost 4 games or 5 games. No, okay, excuse me. 4 or 5 games in the playoffs. No, I'm sorry. 6 games in the playoffs. Yeah. So we lost 4 of them. Denver. That was my bad. Denver ended the season playing terrible basketball. 5 of their last 7 games they lost. They were sitting Joker in 5 of the last 7. Just happened to be that they won the 2 games he sat. It's that end of the season thing. Pretty much had the number 1 seed locked up. They kicked it up a notch. 2 games we blew, betting Minnesota against them in the first round, and 2 games we blew with Phoenix against them in the first round. Denver, best home team now. Grizzlies finished with the best home record during the regular season. Denver's getting it done. Oh, wait, look, forever been a tough place to play. Everybody knows about the
Absolutely.
Just Denver's tough. That's 4 of our losses. Our other 2 losses early was the Sacramento Kings, games 1 and 2 at Golden State Warriors, games 1 and 2 at Sacramento Kings, blowing both those games. But been red hot. Denver accounting for, 80% of our losses. Mm-hmm. My bad on that one. Just didn't read how good Denver was. Murray had a little bit of an off game. His last game, his worst offensive shooting game, 3 for 15. I believe missed all 9 of his threes, but was still a plus 14 during the game. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Killing the NBA, what I do every day during the course of the season and the postseason. I want to get back to the guy who I blocked because you're supposed to be some type of NBA guru. You haven't had an NBA bet in 2 days. I don't think we lost that one NBA bet being the Phoenix Suns since he made that. So I really feel bad that I blocked you. No, I don't. 11-2, full of dogs. You missed it just to be an idiot. Guys, I don't win every game. Billy Walters don't win every game. Nobody wins every game. I've told you a long time, this is a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to have our stretches. We're going to have our bad stretches too, especially betting dogs. Bear with it. Stick with the process. You'll get the money. Let's get into today. So as Ben said, Philly at Boston. We had Philly, another outright winner the other night. James Harden kicks the clock back and knocks down 45 points, including the game-winning three.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his step-back, patented step-back three. They look great. How will they look with Embiid coming back? He was doubtful up until this morning. As a matter of fact, when I originally posted the preview, if you guys had to beat the bookie members, we post a preview on every game. This is not just about giving you my bets. We also give you a preview on every game, whether I bet that game or not, and what's more important, my exclusive home and away ratings. That's what you can make the line with. So as I usually we post NBA the day of the game, but with the playoffs, with games spread out, I'm able to get the games up at nighttime the night before. This way we can get our East Coast guys or our West Coast guys could see it ahead of time. Anyway, when I initially put that up last night, Embiid was doubtful. I thought there's no way he'd play, especially Philly steals game one.
Mm-hmm.
Give him those extra couple of days of rest before you go back to Philly. But he's going to play. Again, he hasn't played. This will be his first game since April 20th. We're now at May 3rd. A little bit of a layoff. He won the MVP. The voting came in the other day. So I guess he feels like he's got to get out there. I've got to imagine he's healthy. I can't imagine 76ers playing him if he's not healthy. So we'll see what happens with him. Maybe a little rust. Again, he's been off for 2 weeks. Hasn't played in the game for 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. And look, Philly couldn't play any better than they played the other night.
Yep.
They're just on fire. They are let's get the stats up for Philly, Ben.
Yes, and from three-point shooting, I mean, they went 17 of 38, 45%. Obviously, James Harden came with the playoff career high 45. Boston, I mean, they got a lot of points in the paint. That was the one place where Boston executed 66 points in the paint. Obviously, they're shooting over 70% in the first half. That was a lot of that. I think bringing Embiid back going to alter that a little bit. And it's going to slow them down a bit offensively. I lean a little bit to the total in this game, to the under. I like the over in that game one without Embiid. I think line makers misvalue him as far as the total goes. That line was originally what it is today for game one. He goes out. That thing goes down to 215. And now vice versa with him back in. It's going back up to 217.5, 218. He's a guy that slows down the game, makes their defense better. Their offense, they utilize the half court. They play a lot slower. The spacing isn't as good for guys like Maxey and hard to shoot the three. So it's definitely going to be an adjustment for Philly playing with him. I lean it to be a bit more of a low-scoring game this go-around.
Yep. Look, this is a must game up. We had the record. It's something ridiculous. Home team losing game one is 20-1 or just something like that. I mean, they just win game two. Again, this was just hope this isn't a spot similar to the Clippers. Clippers go steal game one against Phoenix in the first round. Instead of sitting Kawhi that game two, they get him out there 40 minutes. And boom, he's done. Who knows what's going to happen to his career? So hopefully that's not the case for Embiid. Hopefully he's over the look. It's an LCL sprain, so he's going to be out there. We'll see. I would imagine some rust early. Celtics got off to a great start in the first game. Again, not a prop guy. That might be something you want to look at if he's a little rusty. Celtics shot 85% in the first quarter. Can you do that even on video games? I don't even know if that's possible on video games. 85% in the first quarter. They came out blistering. Philadelphia just shut them down from there. I believe they held them to 49 points on 44% shooting in the second half. Listen, this is a Boston team that had owned the Sixers. Won 3 of 4 meetings during the regular season, covering all 4. They've won 8 of the last 9 playoff meetings. Look, the number was sitting at 8, and you have to take Philly with Embiid in. But you got to worry how much rust there'll be. A must game for the Celtics. They got beat on their home floor. You got a little of that home playoff revenge. The revenge doesn't get any bigger than that, as we stated. So just tough to bet against the Celtics in that spot, not knowing. Look, again, I said he should be healthy. Can't see them putting him out there. How much rust will there be? This is a game I don't have to bet every game. I'll be laying off this one. This might be a spot halftime. You see how Embiid is, see the flow of the game if it's something like game one. But I'll stay off this one. Like I said, we've been killing NBA. No reason to get a game that's iffy.
Yeah, interested to see how Embiid looks, and we will be on top of those halftime lines for members. And for those of you who are members, go sign up, go to the website, download the app, and you guys will get access to those reads at halftime as well. Big baseball card today, John. We have some day action going as well. Coming off the red hot 4-1 day, a lot of dog action. Top game on the card here is Phillies at Dodgers. Phillies was the one loser yesterday. Couldn't get it done. Dodgers crushing them in this series. First two games they've won by a combined 26-5. They have now won 5 of the last 6 meetings. As far as Dodgers, this homestand, they're figuring it out a little bit. Beat up on the Cardinals, not beating up on the Phillies. They're scoring 8 runs per game in this homestand, winning all 5 games. Tough to go against them when they get hot like this. They're a really streaky team, but it's really inviting today. You have Nola, who's coming off a great start against Houston. And then you have Stone, who's going to be making his debut here for the Dodgers. So pitching edge clearly to the Phillies. This line's at about a pick 'em. I need a little bit more dog money there for the Phillies, the way these Dodgers bats have been playing this week.
Yeah, Dodgers turned it around like that. They went home off that rough trip that they had. And they're red hot now, winning 5 straight. The Nola, big pitching advantage. He seemed to have turned it around. He was ugly in the first couple of starts. 3 straight quality starts. As you said, a gem at Houston. Big pitching advantage for Philly. Philly bats quieting down. Not much help from Bryce Harper. 0 for 4 with 3 Ks last night in his first game back. Dodgers, who were hitting a $174 against left-hand pitchers. One of the reasons we went into that game with them, plus Urias just not pitching great. But they're crushing the ball right now. Dodgers scoring 8 runs a game while batting .310 on this homestand. Don't want to buck that. And then you get the pitching advantage to Nola. I'll look for better spots than this one, Ben.
Since he snapped the losing skid against San Diego, had lost 13 of 14. That was one of the winners last night.
Do I have big balls or what?
I give you credit, John. I give you credit. That's a tough one to pull, even for you. Who likes the nasty dogs? That was a tough one to pull. But tonight, I don't think you have the balls to back Sessa. I mean, he's just been miserable. Been a bit better the last 2 starts. 5 runs in 9 2/3. Still give up 14 hits. And then it's Lugo going for San Diego. He's been solid. Only one of his last 3 been quality starts. They dropped his last 2, though. Give up 6 runs in 11 innings. Going to be interesting as he's being stretched out to a starter again as season goes on, how many issues he has. But this one to me is Padres or nobody. I just don't want any part of Sessa. We'll see if San Diego can get to him.
It's Cincy and nobody, and I get the trend prior to last night. Look, first of all, last night just a great game to win, a 1-0 game, playing out. Just I knew Ashcraft was going to keep us in that game, and he did. I mean, he just did a great job. Get a run late, get it into extra innings, and then win it 2-1. Just a great job to win it. Sessa, I don't want any part of Sessa in this game. For you guys that don't know, if you're how to beat the bookie member, Ben writes the initial preview, the first draft, and then I'll tighten it up or add things or subtract things. And so Ben's first draft was Sessa is a little better on the road, 1 and 2, 6.75 ERA, and I just changed it to he's less terrible on the road. He's been terrible, getting crushed at home. Which Great American is a hitter's ballpark, but still giving up a 6.75 ERA on the road. Not so much him. It's just the number is insane. Padres scored 22 runs in their 2 games in Mexico. They were held to 1 run last night. This is a day game following a night game. Don't look at the standings where it says Padres are 8-9 at home. They're really only 6-9 at home. They count the 2 games at Mexico as home wins. Take out the hitting that they did there, and again, their batting is towards the bottom of the team. Well, I'm talking about taking the stats out for Mexico because they're like fake stats. They were playing in a Little League ballpark. Anyway, still a pitching advantage for Lugo. San Diego's supposed to be a favorite here. But are they a 250 and 260 favorite? I don't think so. I'll be on the lookout here. All I need is maybe Soto or Machado getting a day off. That would be enough for me to take a shot with the Reds. But it's got to be something else. we'll see on that one. Reds are nobody at this big number. San Diego with Lugo on the mound is not a 260 favorite.
One thing I forgot to mention, both for the Dodgers and the Padres, is they do play tomorrow. So that's going to be a
look ahead.
Yep, a little bit of a look ahead. More so for the Dodgers if you're looking on that game. Sorry, not tomorrow. They play on Friday. But still a series look ahead there for the Dodgers, playoff revenge, and obviously San Diego. Two favorites in the division is going to be battle between them two. So that's a little bit of a look ahead matchup. Next one, we have Braves at Marlins. We had this pitching matchup earlier this week. That was the game we got the massive 5-run comeback with the Marlins in the ninth, and they pulled that one out. Garrett, he was good in his start there at Atlanta. He had 3 shutout innings before the rain delay, didn't come back out. A little personal note with him on that game, too. Apparently, he had like 80 or 90 family members at the game, and then it got delayed. It was a big ordeal. So I don't know if that has anything to him in this start again. But he looked solid. His last 2 starts, he has been pretty consistent. 2 runs and 14 in a third. Then you have Wright going. He was good before the rain delay. 3 shutout innings. 2 starts versus Marlins last year. 11 shutout innings. I like the way Garrett's throwing. He's been one of the more consistent guys up there with Luzardo. Alcantara, not as much. Atlanta, though, dominant on the road. Tough to go against them. Would be Garrett and the Marlins here in this spot or nobody for me. He's one of their more consistent guys. I'm willing to back him as a home dog.
Yeah, would have to agree with that. It's Marlins and nobody, but I still want a better price. Braves just chugging along, 13-3 on the road. One of those losses was just at the Mets in the second game of a doubleheader. Those are always tough once you win the first game to pull off the sweep, especially against a rival like that. Marlins, 10-7 for the year, but 9-3 their last 12 home games. So they are playing well. As you said, these 2 guys hooked up in the game last week. Both were held scoreless till the rain came. That was our win where Marlins came up with 5 in the ninth. Marlins are nobody in this game, but once again, just a little light for me. If the game gets a little higher, I can only be on the Marlins.
Then we have the Cubs at the Nats. Nats get a home win to even the series 4-1 yesterday. They're 2-3 right now on this homestand, 4-12 on the home this season. Cubbies, they're struggling right now. They've lost 4 of 5, but they got the ace on the mound today, Stroman. He's been great this year. 5 of 6 starts, been quality starts. Against the Nationals last year, against the Nationals last year, he did struggle though. 8 runs and 9 2/3. Then you have a guy, Irvin, making his debut here for the Nats. So clear as day, pitching edge to Chicago. They lose yesterday, maybe a little bit of bounce back spot. Nats horrible at home. I feel like they stole their one for the series. Lean a little bit to the Cubs. It's a really gross price. Don't necessarily want to lay that big of a road favorite with the team losing 4 or 5. I just couldn't lay Nationals in this game.
No, you can't lay the Cubbies losing 4 or 5, not hitting. They were hitting better earlier in the season. Pitching mismatch. Stroman's been great, and even more so on the road. As always, Stroman, he's allowed 2 runs in 12 1/3 innings over 2 starts this year, in road starts, and last year 3-2 with a 206, 13 road starts. He likes to pitch away from Wrigley. He's at the Nationals today. Irvin, not good stats in AAA. 2-2, 5.64 ERA with just a 20K to 11 walk ratio. That's not good. Have to like the Cubs, but no way would I lay a price like that with a team that's dropped 4 of 5. But no interest in Washington with the rookie coming up making his debut.
Yep, agree completely. Then we have Brewers at Colorado, another winner from yesterday with the Rockies as a home dog. We touched on it. They lose 7 at home straight. Now they've won a couple in a row. They're going to find a way to get back up to around that 500 mark at home this season. So I would lean to them to continue that. They have Freeland on the mound. He had a little bit of a rough patch. A couple of quality starts to start the year. Rough patch, coming off another quality start against the Tigers. This Brewers team just simply not hitting. They're hitting 206 this week. It's Lauer on the mound. He's typically a guy that struggles more on the road, and he gave up 4 runs in 3 innings against this Tigers team who can't hit his last start. So not ideal for him to go on now to Coors. It would be Rockies or nobody. Home dog, keep it going with Colorado. They're playing good baseball, or better baseball than they were. Brewers is not hitting the ball. If you can't hit the ball, Coors, you're going to have some troubles winning.
Yeah, and Milwaukee is having a problem. As you said, batting 206 this week and batting just 207 for the year against left-hand pitches. They'll have a problem hitting Freeland. Freeland, like you said, pitched a real good game his last time out. A couple of rough outings prior to that, but Lauer's hasn't been so good either, especially last year, getting hit for 11 runs, 12 hits in 7 innings against the Rockies. Rockies are nobody again in this one. Just they're killing the lines. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. So where if you had a DraftKings account during the NBA season, it was to our benefit. They were opening lines a day ahead of time. We were killing the line.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, DraftKings uses a 20-cent line. It's tough to get on top of it. So when this game opens up yesterday at DraftKings, so the line is lay 35 with Milwaukee, take plus 15 with Colorado. Colorado opens. You can take plus 120 at a spot, Bet Online, one of the spots that open early. So that's the number you're looking to take, but that number is never available at DraftKings. And within minutes, those numbers are gone. I can't get those out to you. That's at plus 120. This would be a full bet with Colorado again. Home dog. Freeland owns the pitching matchup in this one. Brewers are not hitting. Not that the Rockies are lighting the world on fire. Just 3 runs yesterday, but they did knock the ball around their prior game Sunday against Arizona. Plus 120 would be a definite take. Game is down to like plus 105. So that's why I say Rockies or no one.
Then we have Guardians at Yankees. Yankees get it done yesterday. They win 4-2 to even the series. They've won 3 of 5 this year. Yankees always a little bit of an interesting home dog when you can get them there. A little skeptical, of course, as well. Bieber versus Schmidt, clear as day. Pitching mismatch, 5 of 6. Bieber starts have been quality starts. Yankees have lost 5 of Schmidt's 6 starts. We talked about yesterday, John. Got to go right back to the under in this one. I mean, on the season, you have the Yankees leading the MLB with 20 of the 31 games going under at 66%. Guardians, they're second in the MLB with 62% of their games going under, 18 of the 32. And then you have here with the matchup history. I mean, it's just crazy. What is it now? 10 of the last 12 have gone, or excuse me, 12 of the last 14 have gone under. Both in this series so far have under or nothing for me. Yankees aren't hitting.
Yeah, neither team's hitting. Both teams are batting 227. I put the stat in our previews today. Judge was put, I guess, I don't know if he was put on the IL prior to our show yesterday or after the show, but either way, he's now missed the last 5 games. Yankees batting 200 even, right on the Mendoza line, scoring 2 runs per game in those 5 games that Judge has missed. Here's a game that the price says you had to take the home dog, which all the shops are. The overnight line, everybody jumped on the Yankees in this one as a home dog. Just too tough for me to want to back Schmidt. Cleveland not hitting also, but more likely to get a couple of runs. If you give up 2 runs, 3 runs with Schmidt early, you almost got to feel like the game is over.
Yeah.
The Yankees just aren't hitting. So Yankees live home dog. The shops hit the attack, the overnight line, which was at plus 125. That was the right number to take. Game is now down anywhere from plus 110 to plus 115. Just didn't see the value in it. If it was a little bit higher for me, I would hold my nose as I did with the Reds yesterday and went with Schmidt and this non-hitting Yankee team. Also, it's a night game, so you want to see the lineups, who's in the lineup. But yeah, it's the shops are on the Yankees. I just couldn't do it. Like I said, Schmidt, he's been getting banged around. Bieber, one of your top pitchers. More likely for him to hold the Yankees down that aren't hitting than Schmidt to hold down a Cleveland team that's not hitting.
Nope, agree with that completely. I think under's the read. Then we have Toronto at Boston, a couple of high-scoring games. Mentioned that this is going to be a high-scoring matchup, so got to lean to the over again. Both have gone over so far. You have Manoah versus Pivetta. Clear as day, pitching edge there to Manoah. Last 2 starts been good. A couple of quality starts, 2 runs in 12 innings, 12 Ks, 5 walks. Dominated the Red Sox last year. 4 starts, 3-0, 1.04 ERA, 24 Ks, 4 walks. And then just complete opposite for Pivetta. He got smashed by Boston last year, was horrible at home last season, horrible at home this season, 0-2, 7.07. It's Blue Jays are nobody, a little bit of juice in this, not loving it. Red Sox snapped the trend. Blue Jays absolutely owned them last year. They win the first 2 of this series. We'll look to the over and we'll look to Toronto in this game.
Same story here. Look, guys, Why am I on the home dogs a lot? Because that's what the sharp guys bet, home dogs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Ups all took the Red Sox in this one. Overnight line here was minus 141, take back plus 130. That game has gone down. The sharps are on it. Again, another game I stayed off, similar to the Yankees as a home dog. Both teams are crushing the ball right now. But as Ben mentioned, the pitching mismatch, Manoah owning the Red Sox last year, Pivetta getting lit up by Toronto, just didn't see the edge. So there's those games, like I said, where the number might suggest it, but other factors say, no, I'll just pass on that game.
Then we have Twins at White Sox. White Sox now won 2 in a row after the 10-game losing streak. Then you have Minnesota, who's dropped 2 of their last 3, but they're 6-3 their last 9. Cease versus Varland. Cease hasn't been looking as dominant as usual. A couple of rough starts, granted, against Tampa Bay, best offense in baseball this season, so take that with a grain of salt. Varland just going to be making his second start this season. 2 starts for the White Sox last year, 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA. White Sox, is this, are they flipping the script? They're going a little run here, winning bunches, losing bunches. I don't know, but I'm not going to be laying them as a favorite. I don't see any value to it. Would be a slight lean here to Minnesota. Don't love backing Varland. But I need to see Cease be as dominant as he can be in order for me to feel comfortable laying the White Sox as a favorite. But them winning 2 games does not make me feel comfortable laying White Sox as a favorite this season.
Yeah, White Sox have won 6 of the last 8 meetings in Chicago between these two teams. And Cease, White Sox are 6-2 with Cease starting his last 8 games against Minnesota. But as Ben said, his last 2 starts, both against Tampa Bay, both only lasted 4 innings in each of those starts. He did own the Twins last year, through 16 shutout innings, 15 Ks, and like I said, 6-2 his last 8 starts. Actually, the team is 6-2 their last 8 starts. But again, just not looking to lay the White Sox. They did get Tim Anderson back yesterday, similar to Bryce Harper though, 0 for 4. Same type of deal, guys. As NBA, we talk about a lot. The little bit rust factor, game or 2 to get back into it. That's one of the other reasons, like I said, we're holding off with Embiid today. Don't know how he'll be. But 2 big guys coming back for their teams last night. Harper, Tim Anderson, both take the collar.
Then we have Baltimore at Kansas City. Baltimore gets it done. They stay red hot. Now 12-2 their last 14. They're scoring 7.3 runs per game on this little 3-game stretch. And then the Royals just 1-13 at home. With that stat there, it makes it really hard to say this, but I do lean Kansas City on this game. When Greinke is pitching at home, he's a guy I don't mind backing there. And I'm not jumping out of my seat to lay the Royals right now. They're not playing well. Bats have woken up a little bit. They're hitting a bit better this week, scoring a bit more. It's really going to come down to pitching. Can they hold down this red-hot O's team to stay in it? Greinke's been solid at home the last couple of seasons. He's keeping them in the fight. But yeah, 1-13 at home. I'm going to pass on this game, but I do lean Kansas City.
Yeah, it's just not. Greinke does pitch better at home, but outside that, there's nothing else. So we got KC 13 at home. 29th hitting 220. 28th scoring 3.4 runs a game. Perez left the game last night. He's going to be questionable today. Orioles are on fire. They've won 3 straight, scoring 7.3 runs a game. 12-2 their last 14 overall. 7-1 their last 8 road games. Gibson's been a nice pickup for them. They've won 5 of his 6 starts. Excuse me. I'd need to take like 180 to get interested in KC right now. No reason to go against a red-hot Oriole team again with an ice-cold KC team that can't hit.
And we have Mariners at Oakland. Talked about leaning to Oakland last night. That's the only game I'm going to be able to lean to. That gave him as much of a chance you're going to get. 7 no-hit innings there from Miller. Bryce Miller for Seattle. He was also good with a quality start to both the young guys. As far as this game going in today, it's Gilbert versus Sears. Sears started off this season looking like Oakland's ace. Last couple of starts, not as much. 10 runs, 11 hits, and 10 in the third. And Gilbert, his last 2 starts haven't been too solid. 8 runs, 12 hits, and 11 innings. His stuff was looking nasty before that. And still 14 Ks, 1 walk. So we still have some nice stuff going on there for Gilbert. If Oakland can't win that game where you got a pitcher throwing 7 no-hit innings, I don't want to touch on the rest of the series. That's just how I feel about the A's. Already tough enough to want to back them. They're 3-13 at home. But that one kind of solidified it for me. This Mariners team not hitting. Literally did not hit yesterday and still ended up winning that game.
They're not hitting, and that's why they're they're actually a little bit of an overlay because look, you're going to have to pay the price if you want to bet against the A's. Just like if you want to, you got to pay the price. You want to bet against the Tigers, you got to lay the overlay. Against the Royals, it's got to be an overlay. When you bet on the good teams, it's going to be an overlay. So they're going to make you pay the price. But Mariners just aren't hitting. So they get Rodriguez and France both back last night, and still and getting blank. Look, this is good. I mean, he's a little something for Oakland. He showed it last night. But Mariners just not hitting. How we pulled out that 10-8 win Sunday, I don't know where those runs came from, but they scored a week's worth of runs for us. Way to go, Seattle. Just like the job done against left-handers, which obviously Sears is hitting 199 this year, and they're dead last, hitting 215 for the year. So just you can't lay them on a favorite. I know you just bet against Oakland. They suck, but this team's just not hitting. Again, getting no hit last night, and then just getting 2 runs to win the game. I'll lay off this one.
Then we have Rangers or D-backs at Rangers. The Rangers able to get to Gallon yesterday. I think there was another home dog you wanted. You ended up staying off because Gallon's been dominant. I was wrong on that side. I leaned Arizona in that game yesterday. And here today, this might be the most interesting spelling of a pitcher we've had. Fat, I think it's how it's pronounced. I don't even know. P-F-A-A-D-T. And he's making his debut. We'll see how it goes. Was okay in AAA. What was it? 2-1, 3.91 ERA, 30 Ks, 12 walks. Then you have Heaney going. Heaney's just going to be a high strikeout guy. Does give up the long ball a lot. 3 of his last 4 starts, though, 6 runs, 22 innings, 24 Ks, 8 walks. He's been solid. Got to give him the pitching edge without knowing Fat. Rangers, bats, they have been hitting. If you're able to get to Gallon, you're doing something right. Would be lean here to the Rangers, but a price I don't want to get involved in.
Yeah, I feel the same. Also, Arizona missing Carroll. He missed the last game. He's going to be questionable. I lean to probably not in the lineup again today. Texas just red hot. 12-5 now. Second best home record next to Tampa Bay, obviously. And second next to Tampa Bay in runs scored. They're doing this all without Seager, the shortstop, who's been on the injured list since basically the first week of the season. So Texas got a little something going. DeGrom, obviously, he had to go on the IL. Who didn't know that was happening? So bravo, Mets, for getting rid of the guy for whatever millions they got. But let's talk about the here and now. Texas playing great at home, scoring. Give them the pitching edge. They're a small favorite. Carroll's one of the D-backs' best players not in there. It's Texas or nobody at this low number.
I agree with you, Texas or nobody. The other game we have going on in Texas, Giants at Houston. Another one of the big dogs last night, plus 165 there with San Francisco. And got to go back to leaning to that side. I mean, it's 2 solid pitchers. You have Webb coming off a pair of quality starts, Valdez coming off 5 straight quality starts. They last met in 2021. Webb had a quality start then as well. You did have Valdez, 2 runs in 5 innings in that start in 2021. Giants playing decent baseball right now. They now have won 3 of the last 4 meetings. They just snapped a 4-game losing streak. Also lean to the under in this series. Astros played pretty low scoring with Phillies in that last series. Giants aren't doing anything too crazy with the bats. Had a low scoring game last night. Couple of good pitchers going today. Would lean here to the under as well.
Yeah, Webb has come around now. Last couple of starts, he was getting roughed up. His strikeout to walk ratio was still phenomenal. Even on the games, he was giving up a lot of runs. But much better last 2 games. 4 runs over 13 2/3 innings, and again that solid K walk ratio 15-2 over those 13.2 innings. Astros, Valdez. I literally wrote in the preview. Ben Gamey has had 5 straight quality starts. What else is new? Count on Valdez having a quality start. That's what he does. He just goes out there and he gets you that quality start. So good pitching matchup. Obviously, I'm going to give Valdez a little bit of the edge. Also because San Fran, not great hitting lefties, just 224 hitting lefties this year. You probably see Peterson out of the lineup against Valdez. We'll still wait for those lineups. But yeah, with San Fran and nobody, just because you got Houston not hitting the ball, you got to score runs. Yeah. To 60 and 70 and 80-cent favorites, you got to score runs. Kind of the reasoning I was giving for why Cincinnati's worth a shot at San Diego is a 260 favorite if you're not scoring runs. So similar thing here. But again, the number, same thing happened with Colorado. overnight line on this one was Houston 175. Take back was 161. That game's sitting now around from plus 135 to plus 139. They've gobbled up the value. So no value on San Fran. I'll wait to see the lineups and any more line movement. Again, we're either going to have to start betting earlier with the baseball, sorry, guys on the West Coast, or late at night before the lines start moving. And at that point, maybe my East Coast guys are seeing getting notices at 12, 1 o'clock. So maybe shut the notifications off if you got a hot girl with you. But we're going to have to figure this out, because waiting for our 8 o'clock a.m., in the NBA, we had our overnights that we could just crush DraftKings. I mean, again, we said it yesterday, literally walking into DraftKings, taking our money and walking in. How easy was beating the number there. Different now, because, again, 20-cent line, tougher to beat the number. So got to change up the game plan. So may have to go late at night on some of the games. NBA, whatever we didn't get in the overnight, we usually were able to wait till about 8 a.m. Eastern, sometimes 7:30 when we started to see the movement. So we'll change up the game plan so we can get on these games instead of getting them taken away from us. I get this question a lot, so I'll answer it again. John, what's the difference if you think the team is going to win? The difference is the value. Actually, here comes the lineup now. Slater, Estrada, Hanniger for San Fran. I'll look at that in a minute. The value. I value a size. Let's take the Rockies. I value that site, but I value it at plus 120. At plus 105, I still like this particular game. I like the Rockies, but that value's not there. And if I'm missing that 15 cents, that's the 15 cents. That's what's going to add up throughout the course of the year. Every game that I like isn't going to win. I need those 10, 12, 15 cents. That's what's going to make us the money. So I don't know, Ben, maybe a better way to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, just as far as shopping for anything, you always want the best price. And, if you're betting, you're going to be, say what, yesterday we had 6 bets. I mean, on the course of a month or a year, going to be, several hundred, probably close to 1,000 bets throughout the year. And if you're betting over 1,000 times a year, you want that best value. You want that best, like John said, the pennies in it, the cents, it does add up. When you're winning, if you're going 55 or 60% overall in the year, NBA, NFL, whatever it might be, those extra pennies and everything else really adds up. And obviously with baseball, the dog money really adds up.
Same concept yesterday. I think we told you guys here, we were looking to bet the Lakers. Bet the Lakers yesterday. The line was at 4.5. We wanted 5. We wanted that extra half a point. Turns out we didn't need it. But for the cases, that game is going to fall on the number at some point. We waited till we got 5. It went to 5 at FanDuel, then hit a couple of 5s at some of the offshore spots. That's when we sent it out at plus 5. Every half point, every penny counts. That's the difference. Look, that's the difference of sharp guys. That's where they make their money. That's where that extra percentage comes in. It's just getting up and at noon, say, I want to bet a couple of games, and the line's already moved 15, 20 cents, or an NBA 2-3 points. Like we had your daily capper giving out my NBA games last year. I'm giving them out at 8 a.m. Eastern. He's giving them out at 5 p.m. Eastern. After they've moved 2 and 3 points and telling you to buy a point, giving away your money, giving away your edge, giving away juice. No value doing it that way. Stick with the program, guys. What do we got next, Ben?
Yeah, the Pirates at the Rays, 2 best teams in April. I mentioned it yesterday. 2 really good pitchers going today. Keller, 5 straight quality starts. You have McClanahan going. He's been dominant. They've won all 6 of his starts. Last 2 against the White Sox, 4 runs in 11 innings. Pitching edge to McClanahan, but 2 hottest teams, really big number here, John.
I hope you guys are still around. Hope you guys didn't find this boring, because if you're not here, you're missing the one bet I've made so far today, and that's the Pirates plus 190. And straight out what I wrote, McClanahan is one of the top pitchers in the game, on the best team in baseball, at home. All that adds up. But Pirates playing real good baseball. They've lost their last 2 games, not scoring so much, scoring 2 runs, scoring 3 runs in their last couple of games. But they had won 4 straight, scoring 9 runs per game prior to that, and I believe 11-1 coming into these 2 games. Pirates red hot. We're making money with the Pirates. We're going to continue to bet them. Keller pitching good baseball, above average baseball. So while Tampa Bay and McClanahan are the tops, just plus 190, just too high. I'll take the shot with the plus 190 Pirates in this one, Ben.
Yeah, agree with you. It's Pirates and nobody. They're not jumping out of my seat to go against McClanahan. He's been great, but second best team so far in baseball with their best pitcher going as well makes it enticing. Then we have Mets at Detroit. Mets just keep getting rained out. So they had 2 rainouts over Saturday, Sunday, played the doubleheader Monday, get rained out yesterday with the Tigers. Another doubleheader today. First game, we got Lucchesi versus Wentz. Pitching edge to Lucchesi there for the Mets. Weird read here on this Mets team. I mean, at some point this weekend, they got to start to feel some of the effects of this just weird scheduling, everything mixing up, a lot of inconsistencies going on. Tigers and doubleheaders usually like them in these early games, especially at home. Excuse me. They had a pair of doubleheaders last week with Baltimore and with Cleveland, and they won both the early games in those doubleheaders. Something about those Comerica games with 3,000 people in the stands at 12 o'clock in the afternoon would be a little bit of a lean here to Detroit. Not something I'm jumping out of my seat with. Don't want to back Wentz. Just these daytime games for the Tigers doubleheaders, a little bit of an edge to them there. A little bit of extra home edge, I would say. So lean Detroit in this game one, but really not a matchup I want to get involved in.
I would love to bet the Tigers a doubleheader with big numbers. I mean, Lucchesi, he pitched these two outings, pitched decent baseball for them. Mm-hmm. Scherzer coming off that 10-game suspension, don't know what to expect from him. Maybe just what he needed, a little rest in that old arm. Just can't pull the trigger with the Tigers. They can't hit.
Nope. I
mean, they just can't hit. You got 2 guys on the mound tonight. In Wentz, the lefty, going in the day, and Lorenzen at nighttime. I think I can hit these guys. So I just can't pull the trigger on them. But definitely 2 overlays. Mets, they were off for 2 days, played a doubleheader. Then they get rained out again yesterday. So they had a day off, but they played another doubleheader. In the doubleheader against Atlanta, they played everybody. They didn't rest anybody in either game of the doubleheader. Most teams will give somebody a rest. Mets did. That was against the Braves. Will it be a little different against Detroit tonight? So we'll be on top of the lineups because if Mets give somebody some rest in the night game and win the first game, maybe willing to take a shot at a huge number. So it's Tigers or nobody, not laying this number with the Mets, but we'll see how these lineups stack up. We already got the day lineups, and I'm not interested in that one.
And then last game tonight, Angels, Cardinals. Ohtani got the day off yesterday, on the bump today. Last start, though, against the A's, looking a little shaky. Gave up 5 runs in 6 innings. He was a little bit worse last couple of seasons on the road. We'll see if that carries over into this. Then you have Mikolas. They've actually won 3 of his last 4 starts. He's coming off his first quality start this season. Maybe he started to turn it around a little bit. Angels get the win yesterday. One of the bets yesterday we had 2-2 on this trip right now. Just laying the Angels as a road favorite, even with Ohtani on the mound, really tough to do. I would want a bit more here with the Cardinals, but definitely leaning to the home dog. If I knew Mikolas was back to true form, like he looked better last start, been a bit more decent. He's been better at home. If I know he's getting back to form, would lean here to the Cardinals a lot heavier. Just tough because he's been getting cracked some earlier this season.
Yeah, same scenario. Another home dog that the shops were all over on. The overnight was 145, as Ben said. Ohtani roughed up his last time out. It was the worst start Ohtani's had since last year, July 22nd, at Atlanta when he gave up 6 runs. They gave him the day off yesterday. That's why the line went against us for you guys. We had already made that bet early in the morning. We stayed with the bet. Because Matz is horrible. Yeah. Literally put that in our preview, and Angels were hitting lefties at a 282 clip. 4-0 in the first. I mean, they just jumped all over Matz, and that game was over. Little bit different story here. Ohtani's the one that had the rough outing his last time out. Mikolas had been pitching well at all, turned it around a little bit with his last start. As Ben said, better at home. Cardinals, they just been a mess. But the price was right to take with the home dog at plus 134. Again, that number was gone before we were able to get this out. The game now is down to anywhere from plus 112 to plus 116. The value is gone out of that game. Going to make me a spectator in this one.
That's going to do it there for the MLB card, John. Massive MLB card, just a one game in the NBA. Red hot week. I mean, 11-2 the last 3 days, up 40 units over the last 9 days. Just the one bet so far. But obviously, you said, going to be watching halftimes tonight, going to be watching some of these lineups, got a doubleheader, and we got to keep it rolling hot. But a big week.
And we will keep it rolling. Look, I'll say this a million times, guys. You can go on Instagram. When I started doing this, I've been in this business over 40 years. Okay, I've been on both sides of the fence here. My knowledge of this business is the clowns that go on Instagram and these other social media sites and tell you that they're a handicapper. I laugh. I watch guys, they're telling me they got $100,000 bets. I don't think they bet $100. I got to be honest with you. Another guy's pretending he's getting fucking phone calls with inside information. Even if he did, he wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it. These guys are jokes. Look, we don't put nonsense super mega whale bets. I don't give you favorites. We bet what I bet with value. We're going to hit some losing streaks because we're betting dogs in baseball. But when they cash, like last night, 4-1, one more time, plus 115, that's our lowest dog. We took 150, 165, and 176 other games. This is how you make money betting baseball. I've been doing this for a long time, guys. Look, the only problem is now the line makers are starting to catch up because more and more guys are getting sharp. Listen to me, you'll get sharp. Love the guys that get in my DMs showing me their tickets. Those I don't mind. Don't ask me a stupid question or be an idiot that I lost the game. Oh, how'd you bet that side? But you want to show me your winning tickets? Make them shareable. I'll put them up. Tell me you took a lead on a game because of something that you heard. That I love. This is what How to Beat the Bookie is about. It's to make your average better, us sharper better, and looks like we're succeeding. But you got to get us up there. You got to get our views up there. We put a lot of work into this. We send out a lot of information. You want it to continue? Let's make it happen.
Yep, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment below, help us out. If you guys have any questions you want us to cover, put those in the comments as well. And John said, How to Beat the Bookie is all about making you guys sharper bettors. Go check it out. Go to the website, howtobeatthebookie.com. Download the app. You guys can see how to become a member and everything else there. John, red hot. Let's keep it going. Let's make some money, huh?
Back to work. Let's make some money.
Let's do it.